Hey guys, Luton here, and so Star Citizen. Haven't had any Star Citizen on the channel for a long time. I know I've had so many of you asking, and it's going to be a more regular feature now going through the rest of the year. Now, Star Citizen, for the longest time, the reason why I didn't really put any new content out is because there has been a large developmental process going on with Star Citizen, and I wanted to wait until we were heading towards a more sort of stable, solid period that you might start to define as an alpha, which should be, I hope, coming later towards the end of the year. So in the rest of that period though, up until now, from when I made the last video talking about the hangar changes, what have they been really working on? Well, of course they have been working on a lot of the way in which the ship mechanics work, in which the physics work, the way in which the ship turns and rotates and moves, how sensitive that is, how playable, how controllable it is. And I'm really pleased to say that it is far superior than what it was previously. Now when you're flying the ships, you really can do like dead stops, turn, roll, pivot, you know, you can strafe properly. It just feels very fluid and natural, and much more as you would imagine sort of space control to be. And you know, you really do not need a joystick to be able to do this. I'm sure there are people that are really in favor of joysticks, but very much like piloting in armor, it is absolutely not a necessity. There's people that will take it you know, to that level, and they want to get all that gear, and they want to really sort of do that, have like triple monitors up and sort of do all that kind of stuff. But to be honest, you can really do absolutely fine with a keyboard and mouse. It's very sort of fluid, and it feels very natural. It's very intuitive. So yeah, it's great from that point of view. The systems are reasonably complicated in terms of your keybinds, and I think that that's not going to change. Anybody hoping that this, you know, I'm just going to answer it. I know that everyone knows this already, but there's going to be people who want to know, will this ever come to console? The chances are no, it will not come to console. They've basically said that they didn't want to do that anyway. Chris Roberts has said like he didn't. It's a PC game. But again, very much like Armour, the control systems are so complicated, it's not something they would be able to do there anyway. So yeah, but getting on with what else they're looking at, one of the major things that they've been working on is something called Star Marine. This is essentially the FPS module for Star Citizen. The idea being that you could dock with another ship in space and board them, try and take that vessel. This could happen on larger vessels. It could perhaps happen planet side. There's a lot of different elements. Maybe there's a space wreck and you have to battle for control of it. There's many situations in which first-person shooting will occur in Star Citizen. And so the FPS module is something they have been developing, and I'll show more of it on another video, not today. But it's very interesting, this FPS module. It's curious because right now the controls and the way in which characters move are kind of clunky in Star Citizen, but also good, and it's a weird sort of like... Basically, in a lot of FPS, when you move around, it's almost too quick, and I hate that kind of twitchness. It's so unrealistic, it just doesn't... you don't move like that. You can't be sort of running and then flick turn, like, that just doesn't happen in real... you don't do that kind of sort of movement. And so, the way in which the characters are moving in Star Citizen is a much more realistic way of moving, because you actually have body momentum. Which again is not something that really exists in many FPS. You don't really have that body momentum where essentially as you're moving, when you stop to turn, that movement, the momentum, it kind of slows your turn depending on how fast you're moving and so on. So that is something that they're putting in as like a large element of the movement characteristics within Star Citizen's Star Marine aspect. That's going to be really cool and really interesting to see. I mean, the obvious thing that I want to know is how stable it's going to be, etc, etc. I don't think anybody should be under any delusions that this is going to, be an FPS element that's, as clean and locked down as something like CS or, I suppose even the new Battlefield updates. I don't think that you're going to see something that is as clean as that. But I think that within what it's trying to do within Star Citizen, I think it will be definitely acceptable. I mean, as with everything else that they've been doing so far, this is the basic early stages, and from what we have seen with the main game so far in terms of the ship development and all this kind of stuff, that has come on in leaps and bounds in the last 6 months. So the fact that the FPS module, from the little elements that we have seen so far, seems pretty decent. You say pretty decent, we need to see it, but it seems pretty decent. That as a base starting point is a really nice indication. The other thing that's interesting with Star Citizen is that for ages so many people have been deriding it and saying this is a game that will never happen, this is a game where you won't be able to do this, and they're never going to get the physics right for the ships, and how are you going to have this universe, etc. And every time people say these things, they just end up reaching that goal and moving on to the next one. It just seems to be coming together. I mean, they have the passion and the vision. It's not, they haven't slowed down. If anything, they've been beefing it up and going further and pushing harder and accelerating the development of the game. So it's not like it's something that started out as a bit of a crazy idea and then is petering out and dissipating. It's not. It's picking up momentum. It's pushing forward. The audience, the community grow bigger all the time. And it's very makes and it makes you feel excited about it. I think the thing that's most exciting for me with Star Citizen is just the potential of what they're trying to do, and it just make you just really want to get behind and be like, yeah, I believe in this. At the same time, you have to keep your feet on the ground and be like, we need to sort of be careful with this. Something that I want to talk about on a video soon is the sort of speculative ships that they do with Star Citizen, where they put the ship out there and they say, hey, look, if you want to get this early access, you want to play this ship, you want to have it in your hangar now, or sometimes they're selling ships that aren't even fully built and available in the hangar yet, and it's a slightly contentious topic, but at the same time, it's people's own choice what they want to spend their money on. If you want to buy that, well, it's entirely up to you. But bear in mind as well, this is something else with Star Citizen. I'm just going to answer this right now because this is kind of like a recap. I haven't made a video about this for ages, so I know I'm going to have a lot of new subscribers who wonder. With Star Citizen, yeah, they are selling like the ships and a lot of these kind of packages, game packages right now, which you get early because the game is not coming out for quite some time. So a lot of people are like, well, why would I buy this? The reason why you would buy those ships is simply to get early access to them, to be looking at them and having them in the hangar and experiencing that and getting on board, because if you're really passionate about the game, people want to get in on the ground floor and be involved and look at these things and just admire and appreciate. That's what it's really all about. But you don't need to do that. If you literally just want to wait until the game comes around, you don't need, you're going to be able to access and get these ships when they are actually in the game. You're going to be able to use in-game currency to do that. that by completing missions and earning things. So you don't need to pay for this. It's only for the people who want to sort of be involved and have that stuff, who maybe literally can't contain their excitement and they really want to sort of get in. Other people just want to support the development of the game because it's crowdfunded, it's crowdsourced. The community are helping to support and create this game, and without them the game wouldn't be happening. So there's a very good reason again for why they're doing this. The game, when it comes out itself, it's going to be mammoth. There's going to be a lot of videos from me soon talking about very specific elements within the games, things like bounty hunting, trading, escort missions, collaborative combat missions, attacking different organizations, organization war. There's so many different things that you can go into with the game, and that's something else that's really exciting. For myself primarily, I have a few friends who have a few different ideas, a few different plans about what it is we want to do. I myself personally specifically want to do trade missions, space trucking. It may not be the most exciting thing to some of you guys, but for myself, just running logistics and transporting and making big profits is something that's like a really nice thing for me. I want to be the guy, just coming out of warp with this gigantic transport ship hauling goods, maybe strike up some trades with people that are doing mining stuff. And I am part of a large organization already because I'm trying to sort of plan ahead and get in on the ground floor. So the organization that I've mentioned before that I'm with is Imperium, and the guys at Imperium, I selected that organization based off of when I initially started searching for organizations. I liked their remit. I like the fact that they already had a reasonably, full base of members, because that's important as well. As much as it can be really cool to join with friends that are like 10 people or something, when it actually comes to it, you need that network and support base. So Imperium, they had like a reasonable amount of people. I thought that their mission remit of what it was that they were trying to do was grounded and sounded sensible. It wasn't too over the top and serious, but it wasn't just like let's just smash around and shoot stuff up. It was more established than that. So for me, that's going to help me a lot, because it's going to give people that can support me if I have like a trade run that I'm going to do, for example, and it's going through some dangerous territory. I can call on the people in the organization. I can have guys to escort me, some combat wing to escort me there. I can run logistics if we're having combat action in different parts of sectors and things, and so on and so on. So there's loads of stuff that I'm really looking forward to with the game. But the main reason I thought I'd throw this video in here today is to just showcase for you how things are looking. I'm running the Drake here, and I had some good combat and stuff going on there, but it's really cool to just feel the new movement with the updates and so on, because it just feels way better than it did in the past. So drop your ideas down below, guys, for the primary things that you would like me to look at with this game. If there's something you don't understand, if there's something that you have been wondering about and would you like me to speculate or try and gather some information about, please drop that down below. Many more updates to come, and as I said before, CIG and RSI, they actually have kind of not sponsored me, but I have ships that have been loaned to me right now. So I have multiple constellations and so on within my hangar, and it's going to be cool to see perhaps in the future what I can get my hands on to actually have a look at. So that'll be pretty exciting as well. Maybe get some first looks on ships and things like this. We'll have to see how that goes. But I'm very excited for the future. I'm very excited for discussing and thinking about this game. It's one that I will be following through until it goes live, and then sort of continuing on from that point as well, because it's something that I plan to invest time into. So thanks for watching today, guys. Hope you very much enjoyed. If you've never checked out Star Citizen before, there's some links down below. You can go and read a little bit more about it, and I'll see you next time for some more Star Citizen.